My girlfriend had an affair with a coworker, 30M, she even went on a 7 days vacation with him. After she told me about her affair she begged for mercy and we went into counseling. She blocked him in everything and she showed me that she wanted to fight for our relationship. 3 months into our reconciliation we were doing great. I even told her that I wanted to have a baby with her someday and then her face went pale. I asked her what was wrong and she told me that she was pregnant. It was from AP. I was obviously angry and asked her to have an abortion or put the baby into adoption, but she wants to keep the baby and making me the dad. I want to be a father, but I want it to be my own child. Not someone else's. Should I leave her? Or should I try to convince her to abort? Edit for more context. We have been together for 4 years. We started as roommates because she needed money to pay her house. The affair lasted 2 months. She confessed the affair to me after a working trip. The AP told her to leave me for him. She got scared and left him. She confessed everything to her family and mine as a gesture of reconciliation. Update 1. So, yesterday I posted this asking for suggestions and help. Someone in this Reddit told me about some other social network that they could be using, so I followed his/her suggestion and I went through her laptop. Worker AP, 30M, doesn't exist. The real AP is my brother, 24M, and has been going on for more than 2 months. They have been making fun of me, my body and my insecurities behind my back. They have been making all kind of stuff in my house where I was working outside. I work as a cook, but that's not the tip of the iceberg. They got married during that 7-day vacation and the worst of all, my parents knew about this as well as her family. They were sending photos to each other. I found all this looking through all her chats. She didn't had added my brother, but I know it's him because of the photos and some things that only he knows. Well, I waited for her to come back from work. I was feeling, and am still, broken and really hurt. Once she came back I asked her immediately about this. She just smiled and told me that she was tired of pretending, that she only stayed with me until the lease was over and that the child was my brother's. I packed my stuff and left. I'm now with my big sister. She is as shocked and hurt as I am. She has been calling my parents, brother and girlfriend all day. My parents are the only one who try to contact me, but I don't answer. I will cut off my parents and brother. Thank you for all the support. I will update if something else happens, but right now I just will try to calm down. Comments where Op has replied. What Fama doing EU1, what the actual fuck? My brother, it's time to go scorched earth. Expose them online to everyone they know, your friends, co-workers, everyone. Does her family know? OP, her parents do know about it. They were there with my parents. Update 2, hi, it's been 3 days since everything exploded. I have been really sad and depressed during these days, but I'm with my sister and that's making me feel better. For people who are reading this first, my girlfriend cheated on me and married my brother behind my back, then she left me. She is pregnant with his child and my parents and hers knew about this. I have to answer some questions I received. One inverted question mark, you slept with your girlfriend after she told you about the affair? No, I didn't, but I did sleep with her when she was married to my brother. I still don't know why they would do that. 2 inverted question mark, does the rest of the family know? No, but I already told them. Even my ex-girlfriend family, the only person who knew were my parents and hers. 3 inverted question mark, does your sister knows? No, she has been like an outcast for my family. She is lesbian, so my family didn't like her much. She has always been there for me. She is my best friend. Now with the update, I have been staying with my sister this 3 days. I have been really depressed, but she was with me all the time. We even played some cyberpunk. I had to left my job because my sister don't trust me with a knife in my hands at this moment. I had attempted to suicide before. She told me what my parents told her. They want to meet with me to explain everything. She told me that I didn't need to do it if I didn't want it, but I want to know everything, so I have met with them this Friday. I went to take some things from my previous house, and my brother was there with my ex, my sister, who came with me in case something happened, almost punched him. He has been repudiated from most of the family, as well as my parents. So, that's the update. My family keeps breaking and I am looking forward to confronting my parents. Thank you for your good messages and the bad too. My sister is reading me your comments and I'm happy with your suggestions. Comments where Op has replied. Tailbone77, all I will say is, garbage always ends up in a pile and those 2 pieces of trash deserve each other. You dodged a major bullet, by not procreating with that demon. As for your brother, well, consider him dead to you. As for your parents, whatever verbal diarrhea that they will spew now, won't really change what happened, and if you do decide to continue to have a relationship with them, well, that is up to you. God bless your sister, and may your bond with her never be broken. OP, I will take my sister with me. I don't trust my parents anymore and having her with me makes me feel safe and secure. Commentator warns Oop about his parents trying to manipulate him. Have the sister there to support Oop during the meeting with the parents. OP, they were looking and my brother giggled. When my sister heard that I had to hold her, she was really mad. She has always been protective with me. Since I am the little one, she is the family member who is more closer to me since we were kids. She told me that she would be with me, so I don't worry about that. 2. I have had a strange relationship with them since their reaction when my sister came out as a lesbian, so I don't expect them nothing less to try and manipulate me. Thank you for your concern. Update 3. In 2 hours I will be seeing my parents. I have been feeling pretty uneasy all day. I have prepared some questions and a recording device. Context for people who are reading this first. My girlfriend cheated on me and married my brother behind my back, then broke up with me. She is pregnant with his child and my parents and hers knew about this. Sorry for bad English. So yesterday I went to meet my parents with my sister. I had all prepared, questions, a recording dispositive, and I wanted some answers before going no contact. Some people from here advised me not to go and I should have listened to them. Once I arrived there with my sister, my parents were mad that she was there with me. I told them that they were in no position of making demands. Then they tried to make an apologize that didn't sound like one, but I just asked them the first question. For how long did you know about this? They were quiet, but then my father said that they were leaving them their own house for them to make their deeds. Can you imagine? I was not hurt, I was furious. I knew that my brother was the golden child, but this just infuriated me. I just kept asking them questions and I discovered that the first who discovered the affair was my ex-GF dad. Then he contacted my parents and the 4 of them met with my brother and my ex and the 6 of them came with the idea of the blissful lie. Words of my dad. They didn't want it to hurt me, but they thought that my brother and my ex would be happier together since they decided to betray me in the first place. I was really furious with that. My sister was really pissed too and she started screaming at my parents. Then my brother came. My sister and I went quiet and my mom started making stories about mending things and been there as an aunt and an uncle for the baby. My sister was angry and said that she wouldn't be there for that kid. Then my brother said something like, "This will be the only child you will have related by blood." My sister went silent and I punched him without thinking. Is the first time I punched someone and I couldn't be happier to be honest. My brother started bleeding from his nose and my parents started yelling at me. I just told them that they had lost 2 children and we left. Now I am here in my sister's house and my hand hurts, but I am happy for protecting my sister and myself. I will start therapy soon, and I am thinking in joining the gym too. But as long as I am writing this, my bad thoughts are less common, so I think that's great news. Is the 4th time I try to put this update in this subreddit. Edit. All my family knows about what happened, my ex's family too. I send them the chats between my brother and my ex. I even send the recordings of my meeting with my parents. Update 4. Feeling down. It's been a week since my confrontation with my parents and nothing had happened. I'm just been feeling down lately, without force and just tired. I have seen my post in other sites and most of people make fun of me and called me a bad writer. This is not fiction. I don't know how to proof it. Should I put images of the text I found? I'm just tired. My brother and my parents have pressed charges against me for breaking my brother's nose. So, another bad news to the collection. I'm looking for proof to see if I can sue them back for everything they did to me. I will update soon with more information. Thank you for all your kind messages. I'm still feeling down, but like Elton John said, I'm still standing. Update 5. Hello, I have been reading your comments and your messages, thank you. It really helped me. I have been feeling down, but now I kind of feel good. I have contacted with a lawyer who recommended me not to take action against my family yet. His suggestion was wait until the trial to defend myself with the proof I gathered and then sue them back. I will have to be in court the 21st of January, so I have more time to think about everything. My sister and I started the paperwork to change our surnames, so we will still be family but only the 2 of us. I will go this Christmas with my sister, her girlfriend and her family, so at least I won't be alone during the celebrations. My sister and I adopted 2 dogs too. One is old, 13 years, and the other is younger, 2 years. So now I have more company. Thank you for all the kind messages and sorry for the constant updates. I just needed to write it and see your positive messages and your suggestions are helping me a lot. I'm very grateful and I consider you more family than my blood-related one. Comments where Op has replied. Pereira 1955. Fuck them up. It's completely absurd that parents press charges against a son. Move on, relies on your sisters and go to full NC to all of them. OP, that's my plan. I want to get away from them and never see them again. The only motive I would see them is to make a paternity test on the baby and nothing more. Now on to the next story. Story 2. I bankrupted myself to support my sister's crisis, but later on I found out she was living luxury than me. Hi guys. This is me, just a regular girl in her mid-20s who's a victim of her own sister's lies and manipulations. My sister ruined my entire life. Our lives are heavily dependent on the choices we make when we are young. To get a good education, you require money. And that money was all taken by her for parties. Basically, my sister got married to a guy despite everyone's disapproval and this caused our family to go NC with her. I was the only one still in contact with. She had 2 kids and just a couple of years after they were born, her husband left her. She was living abroad, all alone, and handling everything all by herself. And it was difficult. She did have a job but it wasn't enough. Every now and then, I used to send her some money. But again, I was a student myself. I didn't have access to a lot of money. Misfortune seemed to hover on her. First, her ex-husband died, then her baby got diagnosed with stage 1 cancer. I was horrified on hearing that about my nephew and wanted to rush there to help her out. But she told me not to come as it'd only increase her expenses. She told me that she would share all the details with me, but she needed some money. I sent her my entire savings, but it wasn't enough for her. This went on for around a year and I had to choose between my education and her medical expenses. I chose her, thinking that my education can wait. I wanted my nephew to live a healthy life. I wanted my sister to be happy. So I used to work odd jobs and send her money every month. Fast forward a few years and my sister seemed to have her life in order with her son being fully recovered. She had a good job, a decent house, and a second-hand car. I was proud of her, thinking that all the money I sent her had been put to good use. I couldn't send a lot but tried to do as much as possible. With quite a good amount of experience from working all this time, I got hired at an MNC as a secretary. It wasn't much, but it was something. I was just happy to be able to provide for my sister. She was also working to give her kids a good life. But something seemed off when she would refuse to video call me, saying that her internet was always slow or that she was busy with work. It was strange because she would always call me when she needed money. She also stopped updating me about my nephew's health, which was odd because I was always worried about him. With his disease, there was always a risk and I wanted to be on board with everything. I decided to surprise them on my nephew's birthday and fly there. I reached the address, and I was shocked to find a luxurious villa, with a sprawling garden and a fancy car parked in the driveway. I was surprised, to say the least, as this was not the kind of house I expected my sister to live in. When she opened the door, she was dressed in designer clothes and her hair and makeup were done perfectly. I was shocked, wondering where all this money came from. Her expression said that she was equally shocked to see me as well. She tried to hold me at the door, but I stepped inside and saw my nephew and niece playing with expensive toys and gadgets. I was happy to see them healthy and happy, but I couldn't help but wonder how my sister had managed to afford all of this while I was living in poverty to send money. When I asked her about it, she hesitated and then admitted that she had inherited a lot of money from her husband's family after his death. I was confused, as I had no idea that her husband's family had that kind of wealth. And if that were the case, why was I asked to pay for all this time? My nephew and niece were very happy to see me and I didn't want to create a mess in front of them. As I spent more time with them, I began to notice some strange things. She had no pictures of her husband or his family in the house. She also had no medical bills or records for my nephew's cancer treatment, which seemed odd. When I asked her about it, she became defensive and refused to answer any of my questions. I decided to go through her papers and documents. Of course, she got super defensive, and as I threatened to go to the hospital to inquire or directly go to my nephew's school they must be aware of his physical condition, she couldn't help but accept that he was never sick at all. She had been lying to me all these years, taking advantage of my love and kindness. Was devastated and angry. I felt like I had been used and betrayed. I decided to confront her, but she denied everything and tried to manipulate me into believing her lies. I couldn't take it anymore. A sense of anger and betrayal washed over me. How could my sister deceive me like this? How could she live a life of luxury while I struggled to make ends meet and support her family? It was clear that my sister was the villain in this story. As I thought more about it, I realized that my sister had been manipulating me all along. She had always been the favorite child in our family and had grown up entitled and selfish. Even after she made poor choices and was disowned by our family, I had still been there for her, supporting her financially and emotionally. And all the while, she had been living a life of extravagance and deceit. I decided that enough was enough. I couldn't just sit back and let her get away with this. I began to do some research and discovered that she had been lying to me about her finances, her job, and even her health. She had been living off of my money and lying to me about it the entire time. My sister was aware that I wouldn't let it go this easily, so before I could do anything, she started spewing her lies. She immediately started to create problems for me. She called our parents and told them that I was spreading lies about her and that I was just jealous of her success. She even went as far as to report me to the immigration authorities, claiming that I had overstayed my visa in her country. I was shocked and hurt by her actions. How could she do this to me after everything I had done for her and her children? I knew I had to act fast, so I contacted a lawyer and explained the situation to him. He advised me to gather all the evidence I had about the money I had sent to my sister over the years and the conversations we had had about her financial situation. He also told me to document all the threats and harassment I was receiving from my sister. Armed with this evidence, I decided to confront my sister and tell her that I had proof of all the lies she had been telling me and everyone else. At first, she denied everything and accused me of making it all up. But when I presented her with the evidence, she broke down and confessed to everything. She apologized for everything and begged for my forgiveness. But it was too late. I had had enough of her lies and manipulations. I decided to press charges against her for fraud and theft. I also told her that I would not drop the charges unless she repaid every penny she had taken from me. I contacted immigration services and reported her for fraud. I provided them with all the evidence I had gathered, including bank statements and emails. Within a few weeks, my sister was arrested and charged with fraud. My sister was devastated by my decision, but I knew it was the right thing to do. I couldn't let her get away with what she had done. In the end, she was forced to repay me all the money she had taken from me, and she was also sentenced to community service for her actions. It was a harsh move, but I knew that it was the only way to get justice. I had been manipulated and taken advantage of for years, and I couldn't just let her get away with it. My sister's life was turned upside down, and she was forced to return to her home country after the period of her community service was over. Update 1. So my sister is furious and is trying her best to turn people against me. Despite my sister's attempts to twist the truth and make me look like the villain, I know deep down that I have done the right thing. I had spent years sacrificing my own education and financial stability to support her and her children, only to find out that she had been lying to me the entire time. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but I refused to let her manipulate me any longer. I started to distance myself from her and her toxic behavior. I refused to engage in any more arguments or drama and instead focused on rebuilding my own life. I worked hard at my job and saved up enough money to move into my apartment. I also started to make new friends and even began dating someone. Update 2. So, my sister wasn't done causing trouble. She spread rumors about me to our extended family and friends, trying to make me out to be the bad guy. She even went as far as to accuse me of stealing from her, which was a complete lie. I knew that she was just trying to deflect attention away from her misdeeds. Despite all of this, I refused to stoop to her level. I remained calm and collected, and made sure to keep all of our interactions civil. I knew that I couldn't control her behavior, but I could control my own. And that was enough for me. Update 3. I have completely cut off contact with my sis. It was a painful and difficult experience, but I learned a lot from it. I learned that sometimes the people we trust the most can also hurt us the most. But I also learned that justice can be served if we dare to stand up for ourselves and fight for what is right. And most importantly, I learned that forgiveness is not always necessary. Sometimes, it's okay to cut toxic people out of our lives and move on. I realized that I had to move on from this toxic relationship. It was clear that my sister was never going to change, and I couldn't keep enabling her behavior. It was time for me to focus on my own life and my own happiness. Thank you for being here till the end, Redditors.